What's up, y'all? It's Press. I wanted to make basically an update to my tip video I made a couple weeks ago because the patch changed a lot of things. So I'm talking about like the vanish spam, when to vanish when you're getting hit yourself, and a lot of more things. So if you guys find any of these tips useful or anything like that, leave a like or any of that corny stuff and tap into the video because I've got a lot of useful stuff for y'all. All right, so I'm looking at my list. Sorry if I'm a little jumbled, but I've got 5 points tips you guys got to focus on. The first one's going to be vanishing while you're getting hit, like during a block string or when you're actually getting hit. You want to focus on when they're going to do a rush chain or like a sweep and try to counter that. You don't want to mash just like a super counter because there's a buffer in between when you can vanish just like a super counter. I don't know when it is, but it's definitely there. You want to definitely just look out if they're going to do a gut punch, if they have any habits or something like that. And the way to counter that is honestly not doing rush chains yourself. Specifically, like if you get back shots on someone, a lot of the times I like to just mash through my 3 hits, and maybe on my 3 hits as in rush attack sets. And what I mean by a rush attack set is if I press triangle 5 times and then I do it again 5 times and then I do it again 5 times, y'all know what I mean, that would be 3 sets right there. So on the first set and second set and third set, during the third set is when I might start mixing in some rush chains, or maybe once during the second set. You want to do things like that, but for a surefire way to counter a lot of that, like I'm trying to kill you real quick, nigga, just mash through your stuff. I'm not gonna lie. You don't want to do any like gut punches or something, because if they're a good player, they're gonna look out for that advantage. You want to like try to keep the key advantage and super counter them, be like, I'm at least get you in a super counter war. You can use rush chains to throw off super counter timing if you're getting super countered a lot and they're not focused on vanishing, so you can like charge up your stuff and all that. Like this is all going to be good to mix in your gameplay. Don't use a rush chain again. It's just off my notes, but don't use a rush chain if you're not trying to get vanish again. So if you are attacking someone and you're scared and you need to like surefire try to get some damage off and you're not trying to hit a super or anything like that, just do your first 5 hits, dash, do your first 5 hits or whatever, and keep doing that. Don't do no gut punch, don't do a sweep, don't do an uppercut. Oh, this is a big tip that I have written down. Don't do, and I'm gonna have gameplay clips for all of this, don't do a bunch of rush attacks during your first rush chains during your first rush attack set. So don't be like, I'm gonna do 2 hits into gut punch and then 1 hit into high kicks and then 1 hit into rolling hammer. You don't want to do that because you're being very readable and easily vanishable, because that's all you're gonna do. Maybe you want to do first 5 hits, don't even do a rush chain, and then you do 2 hits into gut punch, and then maybe you do 4 hits into whatever you have on your 4th hit, and then you go through your full chain, and then you're still on your 3rd chain and you can just go through your full rush attack, or you can do 1 more chain or something like that, and it's going to be way harder to super counter. It's going to be way harder to vanish. That is something you want to do instead of let's go through all my rush chains during my first rush attack set. That's a no-no. You do not want to do that. So for the second tip I've got is that revenge counters got a buff, and if you don't know how, they basically made it faster, like it returns to neutral more easier and stuff like that. So I have a couple ways you can use it. One is after a rush chain, aka like something like a gut punch, rolling hammer, high kicks, something like that. If someone's gonna do that and you want them off of you, you can just revenge counter and then play defensive because you're a neutral. You can do it during a vanish war besides off the circle move, I'm pretty sure, because they can not revenge counter, they can perception you. So you want to do it like, oh, he's on his 2nd hit and he's about to do his 3rd follow-up. You can just revenge counter them and you're safe. They can't do anything most of the time. At the end of a rush attack combo, so like your 5th hit, you know, before you could like do other things. I'm sorry I'm explaining that weird, but you know what I mean. Like you do square, 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 and then does that little smash. After that, you can revenge counter and then you're safe. So those are like 2 or 3 ways you can use revenge counter easily. And yeah, you can play mind games with it. You can mash off of it once you condition them or something like that. So that's my second tip. It's going to be revenge counters. Use them more. They got a buff. I just gave you a couple ways to use them if you don't know how to use them. Excuse me. So third tip, this is actually the most important. It's probably going to be implement it in my thumbnail or something if I find a way to. But sidestepping and vanishing off your square move hits is meta. It is important. You need to do it, and I have ways to counter and read all of it. So one way to counter someone mashing and teleporting is to read what they're doing. And what I mean by that is, what I'm saying, read what they're doing, and when you get a read on them, you can perception. That's a good way to stop that game of nigga we're mashing back and forth of vanishing. You can just perception them. If you get a read, you can like sidestep and perception them or something like that. Don't mash too much, especially if you are a multi-hitting character, because if you are locked into a multi-hitting string or a part of your string you don't want to be locked into, you can't vanish as fast as the other person, meaning you're going to get punished. So you have to play strategically. You do 1 or 2 presses and you try to hit confirm, like with a rush chain or something like that. You don't want to just mash willy-nilly, because someone's going to vanish you mashing, and then you're not going to be able to teleport, and you're going to be complaining about the vanish war, or not vanish war, the vanish meta right now is square. You just need to be smart about what you're doing and mix in the sidestepping in your own vanishing. Another thing I want to point out within this third point is watch for step-in moves and chains, or rush chains, so like gut punches and stuff like that. If you're sidestepping and pay attention to that, you can punish it, because you can't vanish out of a move like that. You can't vanish out of a step-in kick. You can't vanish out of no step-in. You can't vanish out of any messed up rush chain that someone sidesteps within your combo. So watch out for those. Those are sure punishes. Don't mash when you see that. If you see that, don't get scared and mash square in R1, because oh my god, we're vanishing together. We're not vanishing together anymore if I get you in a step in, or if I get you on your misstep in, you know what I mean. So my last point, and I'm gonna have a clip versus this nigga named B Samurai or something like that. Bro, this is like true Dragon Ball right here, but we both know the meta already. And so you're gonna see us going back and forth, vanishing, sidestepping. Bro, this is the beginning of the match, and it's fun when you guys both know what you're doing. Like, we are literally just sidestep, trying to get a read, get a couple hits because we're low-key both scared and stuff like that. And that's how it sounds bad-ish, but that's kind of how you need to play. If you're gonna play against a bot mashing, you're gonna win, because he's not gonna really know what he's doing. You're just gonna be like, I might as well wait for you to fuck up. Why would I put myself in a position when I can just sidestep you and punish you, because you're not even taking the time to vanish when vanishing is the meta. Side rant slash helping you guys out for the third tip, because that is very important. For my fourth tip, it's like a slight tech move, and it's to be safe, because being safe is being like, it's really at an advantage in the meta right now because of how people are spamming vanishing, right? So a way to get a hit confirm, which is like doing a move that you can confirm a hit into for a while, like you can see them stunned or something like that. Like if I gut punch you, that is going to be a really good hit confirm, because I have a lot of time to know I hit you. I don't have to mash. So this, I'm gonna call it's like a hit confirm. It's doing 1 key blast into your first rush chain, and this is godly with high kicks. I have a bunch of clips I'm gonna show y'all. I literally do key blast, 1 hit into high kicks, and it always opens someone up during the fucking exchange you're going through. I'm just going to show the clips. I'm not going to be too crazy about this, like not ranting, but yapping on about it or whatever. Try doing this, even with whatever you have is good, besides maybe like key cannon. That shit's trash. But like off a gut punch or a rolling hammer, if that's your first move, a couple characters have that. That shit is really good. So use that, abuse that. The 5th tip I have here is like an explanation of one of the changes they have. I'm gonna have my boy Mikolo explain the combo scaling, because there's some changes. I'll insert the clip, I'm gonna try to get it, of me doing a combo and then messaging this dude like I won the game, and then he doesn't die because the combo scaling is insane. Your ass, stop Vanish assault spamming. He what? He's alive? And so I'm gonna have him explain how the combo scaling works a little bit. And then after that explanation, we gonna be good on these tips, bro. I hope y'all niggas enjoy that shit. All right, I have my boy Mikolo here to help me explain combo scaling, because he knows way more than I do about it.
Hello, my name is Mikolo. So essentially, the way the combo system works is that it's like a drawing from a pool. So normally, you know, my Rush Super would do around about no boost, 10, maybe 12k against Orange Piccolo. Yeah, around about 10k against Orange Piccolo. But I'm gonna do exactly 3 rush chains. Oh, I didn't have enough key. But if I did all 3 of those rush chains, it should do like bare minimum 10k, which is, if you notice, what I did before. And I also did a ground sweep, which does make the scaling do a lot less. Notice how that basically did the same amount of damage, only an increase by 1k. That's because the more rush chains you do, the more you're drawing out of that pool. The way I view it is that each rush chain removes 1, and a ground sweep removes 2. Then when they get grounded from said ground sweep, hence why it removes 2, because you removed a 1 from doing the actual ground sweep, and then you remove another 1 since they're still technically grounded. Now, when your opponent is grounded, their damage that they take from the super is 33% less. So you're adding on more scaling when doing the grounded attack, when you're doing like attack against your opponent that's grounded. Then there's also the fact that rush attacks, which is just your basic square press, do no scaling.
Yeah, basically rush attacks are just mashing square, and then rush chains are the triangle moves, or Y.
Now I'm gonna show you a combo that does basically 0 scaling. And Final Kamehameha, this should do around about, yeah, that's 20k. Final Kamehameha does around about 10k, maybe 11k. So that is a full scaling, more or less, Final Kamehameha, and I did damage.
Yeah, and it did that much damage because he didn't do like any triangle hits. He just tried to do the most basic combo low-key you could think of. He didn't even sweep, because in this patch they nerfed sweeps, like he said. If rush chains are 1 cost, then a sweep is automatically 2, hence the scaling is going to be harsher on that combo. There's his little funny glitch. Thanks though, Mikolo, for explaining bars.
You're welcome.
That's the end of the video. Again, if you found it useful, tap in, because I'm gonna have more useful stuff like this coming in the future. I usually make discussions, so expect discussion videos mostly. But yeah, I hope this was a good one. So peace out.